What is up, JL Life? Today's video, we're going to be installing some aux switches on a classic. Stay tuned. So you guys know I have the J10. You guys know this is going to be a rock crawler. You guys seen it, and you guys have been asking for more. What I'm currently in the process of doing on the project, of course, I've gutted out the Sterling 10.5. I've ordered a zip locker. I've ordered 538 gears and a master install kit. But the thing with that is, well, it's going to take some time. I want to say the lead time on the master rebuild kit is end of the year. So I'm looking at 8 to 10 weeks. Woof. But since I plan on running air lockers, I'm going to need a switch to run both lockers, and at minimum, the air compressor. And of course, regardless of what your application is, if you're trying to restore a classic, having aux switches is just convenient to have. And even if it's not restoring your classic and it's for an older vehicle, if you ever have to replace your fuel pumps, you can run your fuel pump directly to the aux switches. If your horn goes out and you don't want to start messing with all the wires, or you don't have a diagramming of the wires, you can just go straight to an aux switch, headlights, brake lights, whatever the case is. Well, here's what we're going to be putting inside the J10. It's going to be the RGB 8 gain multifunction switch panel from Auxbeam. Inside the box comes, of course, with the switches, which is nice and thin. Allows you to route the cable up or down, depending on your application. It comes with a 60 amp fuse disconnect. It comes with the connector wires, the battery terminal wires, a piggyback fuse, additional wiring, hardware. This is what I really like. The fuse box, you have your in and your out. You have 230s, 220s, 210s, 25s. Placing inside is super easy, highly visible. What I really like about this, it's a solid state relay. And of course, it comes with installation information, zip ties, and all the different stickers to go on there, even to include just solid black ones, and that's to prevent all the bright light from coming out to you. What's super awesome about it being RGB, the color scheme should be limitless, and we'll get into that after we install it, to kind of, so I can't decide if I'm going to be going blue, green, or orange for accent colors. The housing on the system is aluminum. It's not plastic. This is the mounting bracket for your aux switches. These two brackets are for your solid state relay. I have an idea how I'm going to install it. I hope it works, but it has a flush mount and a flat mount. Just to kind of give you an idea, you can mount it like that on the sidewall, or you can just mount it flat up against the wall. Super easy to use. And on the inside of the cover, it actually has spare fuses and a fuse puller. It's a nice little touch. So the first thing you got to figure out what you want to do is where you're going to install the buttons. What I'm thinking, so this is the glove compartment. Behind it, there's literally nothing. I'm thinking if I go in down, I think over here is going to be the spot. I'll knock out this plug. I'll be able to screw it in, bolt it up, run the wire immediately down and back behind the dash without having to get crazy with poking holes in it. I like that. Yeah, that came out super easy. Just put a punch on the other side. Oh yeah, it's gonna work great. So to make this easier, I'm gonna separate the two parts. This is the bracket that's gonna mount to the back. Got some self-tapper screws. Go screw that in. Okay. So next thing we need to do is take the bracket and the actual switches, line up the holes, and drop in these little baby screws. Just remember to route the wire up or down. You probably throw it right through the hole in the middle if you wanted to drill a hole into whatever it is you're installing this into. Now we can go mount this inside. So I actually rerouted the wire to the top. I think it's going to look better that way. And you just reinstall the screws that you took out. Okay. All right. One thing I did also neglect to mention at the beginning, it also comes with a flat mounted mounting plate. So if you're wanting something to be more flat as compared to angled off like that one, comes with both options. As you can see, just have it dangling down, and I'm just going to up and tie this out of the way. But next thing we need to figure out is the fuse box. Just trying to figure out where I'm going to install that. Don't like how that looks. I mean, that wouldn't be a horrible spot on the driver. All right, I think I found out where I'm going to install the fuse box. So up underneath, I'm going to tie into this bolt. And just mount it up here and throw a self-tapper on that side. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to run the cable underneath the dash, and I'm going to be mounting the fuse box right there. I'm already missing the firewall plug, so I'll be able to go from there to the engine bay, to the fuse, to the battery. The kit comes with an extension cable. It's braided, match. Take these two ends, line up the holes. I'm going to take these two ends, it'll only go in one way. Plug it out. So the way this is going to work is the wires will go in through these little holes on the bottom, and you can run your lines directly into here, and your negative and your positive. So the one important thing to remember is to have this somewhere where you can relatively get to semi-easily. I'm going to cut off all this excess insulation here. And of course, every mounting job is unique in its own way, but what I did, so since I need to access the back of these guys, I put some spacers on the back of the bolts to allow my wires to be able to easily run up into here without being problematic. So the power cables that are provided are kind of small, so I'm going to have to lengthen these. Nice thing is getting this corrected isn't too big of a chore. So I get some 8-gauge wire, some terminal fittings, and let's give it a clamp. Now that we did it once, second time we'll do it smarter. And just right there. This one I will be able to use. It came with a short red. I'm gonna keep the fuse close to the battery. Just trying to figure out a way of mounting it without it looking like a bag of ass. So with your fuse box, you actually want this to be close to the battery. So your kit also comes with a piggyback fuse line, which is the red one. And of course the piggyback fuse has a 2-prong. The line going directly to the switches is a 4-prong. The way we're going to do this, then the 2-prong, you got 2 wire where here. So close. Trying to do all these things. Filming. Pretty gangster. Alright. The red line, like I said, is a piggyback fuse. However, because of how old my Jeep is, it doesn't have these style of fuses yet. Some point I'm going to clean up the wiring and upgrade the wiring components. However, that's not what the case is today. That'll probably wait until I pull the engine. Because I can't use this, I'm just going to ghetto rig it into my fuse box. You want to piggyback on any fuse that is on only when the key is in the on or accessory position. That is just to ensure that you don't kill your battery while you're not why it's not started. Put the lid back on. There it goes. Now I just gotta clean up the wiring. And as soon as I'm done with that, I'll come show you how it looks and how it operates. Install's done. Kind of just walk you through everything. So here is the fuse box. I do need to get that screw out of the way. That way I can get these to fit nicer in there. Underneath the hood, it's fairly clean. I installed the fuse cutoff switch to a bolt that was already inside the fender. That's just running straight through the firewall. I'm going to get some zip ties around this just to clean that up. Into the actual switches. And one of the main reasons I like switches as compared to installing actual toggle switches, it's so much easier and cleaner It's simpler to use an actual switch system. And just to make sure this works, there it is. Now there are ways you can change the colors and the functioning of the switch if it's toggle, momentary. There's an app for that. On their instructions, they have both Android 4.5 and iOS 9.0 or newer. Follow the link to download the app. Inside the app, you can change things like brightness, the color, and it's a color wheel, so you can do a ton of different colors. Changing the momentary pulse only while it's being pressed. I don't know what I just did. Okay. Switching them. So you got multiples on. Turn them all off at once. And there we go. Change them to bright orange. So guys, it's that simple. Getting an actual switch system, again, just keeps things so much cleaner under the hood, under the dashboard, under just wherever you got your wires going. It really simplifies it. I highly recommend it. Just looking in it from here, the only real big thing that sticks out is this wire. That's not much. No point in getting lockers if you have no way of turning them on and off. So we'll start with the lockers. I'm gonna put rock lights on it. What do you need rock lights for? Because it looks fucking badass. No, really, it really helps your spotter at night. I don't plan on using all 8 of the switches, but it's always good to have more than you need than to find out you need to change out the entire thing because you didn't have enough. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Go and check out the link below. There's a link to this product. Super cool, super rad, super customizable. I'll admit the app leaves some aesthetics to be desired, but it worked pretty simple. I just turned on Bluetooth, booted it up, hit connect with the system on, and it just connected. Easy peasy. As you guys know, we've also installed these in my buddy Jordan's Jeep. He hasn't had any issues with them. It's been working great. And I'm going to assume it's going to be the same for me. And follow the link below if you guys want a 15% off discount to this product. I don't see nothing on the back end. It's just more for you guys. But guys, thank you for watching. I hope you're excited for the J10. Shit is coming together soon. But guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, y'all, keep it easy.